Most cryptocurrencies are trying to replace banks. This one is trying to upgrade them. While Bitcoin wants to be digital gold and Ethereum wants to be a world computer, XRP was built for something much more specific, but potentially worth trillions, moving money around the world in seconds. For years, it was tangled in a massive legal battle that held it back. Now that the battle is over, the picture looks completely different. Today, I'll explain exactly what XRP is, how it actually works, and the real path to how it could succeed. Let's get into it. To understand XRP, you first have to understand a problem most people never think about. Sending money across borders is shockingly slow and expensive. If you try to send money from the US to, say, the Philippines, it can take days and cost a small fortune in fees. Why? Behind the scenes, banks don't have direct connections to every other bank. They rely on a chain of middlemen, and to make that work, banks have to park huge amounts of cash in accounts all over the world, just sitting there waiting in case someone needs to send money. Trillions of dollars are locked up this way, doing nothing. It's a slow, costly, decades-old system. XRP was created to fix exactly that. So what is XRP? XRP is a cryptocurrency designed to move value between currencies almost instantly and for a tiny cost. The keyword is bridge. Imagine you want to convert US dollars into Philippine pesos. Instead of going through that slow chain of banks, you can convert your dollars into XRP, send the XRP across the world in about 3 to 5 seconds, and convert it into pesos on the other side. XRP acts as a neutral middle step, a bridge between two currencies that settles almost instantly. It lives on its own blockchain called the XRP ledger, which has been running since 2012. Now here's a distinction that trips up almost everyone, so let's clear it up right now. There are 3 different things people constantly mix up: Ripple, XRP, and the XRP ledger. Ripple is a private company that builds payment software for banks and businesses. XRP is a cryptocurrency, and the XRP ledger is the blockchain that XRP runs on. They're related, but they're not the same thing. Ripple, the company, uses XRP in some of its products to help move money, but XRP itself is an independent digital asset that anyone can use. And the XRP ledger keeps running no matter what Ripple does. Why does this matter? Because a lot of confusion and a lot of legal trouble came from people blurring the line between the company and the coin. Keep them separate in your head, and XRP suddenly makes a lot more sense. So how does XRP actually move so fast and so cheaply? Most cryptocurrencies are slow on purpose. Bitcoin uses mining, Ethereum uses staking, and both take time and energy to confirm transactions. XRP does something different. It uses a system called consensus, a group of independent computers called validators, run by universities, businesses, and individuals around the world, simply compare notes every few seconds and agree on which transactions are valid. There's no mining, no massive energy use, and no waiting. The result, transactions settle in 3 to 5 seconds, cost a fraction of a penny, and the network can handle huge volume. One more thing to know, unlike Bitcoin, all 100 billion XRP were created at the very start. No new ones are mined. A large chunk is held by the company and released gradually over time, and we'll come back to that because it's one of the main criticisms. Now to the part everyone's watching. How can XRP actually succeed? A few real forces are lining up. The biggest one is regulatory clarity. For years, XRP was stuck under a cloud of legal uncertainty in the United States that scared off big institutions. That cloud has now largely cleared, with XRP increasingly treated as a digital commodity rather than a security, and new legislation aiming to define the rules even further. That single shift unlocked the door. Right behind it came institutional money. Regulated investment products like ETFs launched, letting big investors get exposure to XRP through normal channels, and serious financial firms started paying attention. On top of that, XRP's core use case is expanding. Banks and payment companies are increasingly testing fast, cheap blockchain settlement, and the XRP ledger is being used to put real-world assets, things like bonds and funds, onto the blockchain. The simple logic of the bull case is this: if the world's money increasingly moves over blockchains, and XRP becomes a trusted bridge for that movement, then real demand for XRP grows right alongside it. But here's the honest other side, because no real education skips it. First, the supply concentration. Because the company holds and gradually releases a large amount of XRP, critics argue it's more centralized than something like Bitcoin, and those releases can add selling pressure. Second, and this one is subtle but important, institutions using Ripple's technology don't automatically mean they're using XRP, the coin. Some settlement can happen through other tools, including stablecoins, which means adoption of the network doesn't always translate into demand for the token itself. And third, like all crypto, XRP is volatile, and good news doesn't always move the price the way people expect. So the key question to watch isn't whether Ripple succeeds as a company, it's whether that success actually drives real demand for XRP itself. So let's tie it all together. XRP is a cryptocurrency built for one clear job: moving money across the world almost instantly and for almost nothing, acting as a bridge between currencies. It runs on the fast, efficient XRP ledger. It's separate from the company Ripple. And after years of legal limbo, it now has the regulatory clarity and institutional attention it always lacked. Whether it succeeds long-term comes down to one thing: real-world demand for XRP as a bridge asset actually growing. And the honest reminder, because this is an educational channel, not a hype channel, understanding XRP isn't the same as endorsing it as an investment. It's volatile, it has real critics, and nothing here is financial advice. Do your own research with a clear head. If this finally made XRP make sense, hit subscribe. I break down a different cryptocurrency every week, what it is, how it works, and what you actually need to know. I'll see you in the next one.